Hey everyone, welcome to 21st Century Saints. We are here for an impromptu kind of tutorial today. We've been contacted by lots of people in wards and stakes who have responsibilities or want to know more because they know the responsibility is about to fall on their shoulders about completing the background check DBS process in your ward. So if you in any way support your bishop or stake president and you want to signpost them this way, please do that. And if you are joining us in that capacity, we're excited to have you with us. Now, Sarah not only has the calling of stake safeguarding specialist in her area, but Sarah has incredible experience. She has a lifetime of experience working in this sector. So she's going to be able to offer some supplementary advice that you may find useful. But this is just going to take you through the process. If you are a bishop and you know you have to submit these forms, we're going to talk you through and baby step you through exactly what you need to do. So first of all, we want to say, if you feel a bit intimidated about this, that's totally normal and it's totally fine. We're going to show you how simple it is, but when we're doing something new for the first time, often it can be just getting your head around a new process. So we're here to help you to feel good about that, to tell you not to worry about anything, because if you reach out to your stake safeguarding specialist, or if you come and watch this tutorial, you'll see you can have this done in a matter of minutes. And we're talking about single digit minutes, not 3 million minutes. Okay, Sarah, if I were calling you if I were approaching you, if I were a Latter-day Saint bishop, can you tell me, I've just had this email hit my inbox asking me to submit a form. Can you talk me through from there what I need to do? And I'm going to share my screen and bring up some information so we can talk people through this. But can you tell me, first of all, if I'm calling you, what would you be saying to me?
Don't be scared of this process. It's simple, it's easy. Your responsibility in this is far simpler than you may realise, bishops. All you need to do is open a spreadsheet that will be attached. There's an attached spreadsheet that is pre-populated with all the callings in the ward that are relevant to background checks. Once you have that spreadsheet open in front of you, all you have to do is identify the people currently serving in that calling, approach them and say that you have to do a DBS check in accordance with the new church proceedings, and go to the church website, put in the search bar protecting children, and all the information will come up. Explain to the person that you have to do that and that you need their email address to start the process. Put their name on the spreadsheet next to the calling, put their email address next to their name, and when you've collected the information for everybody in your ward, all you need to do is send it to the address on the spreadsheet. Once you've sent that form off, you don't have to do anything else, Bishop, because those individuals will be contacted directly by the DBS checking service, and they will receive a link to log on and complete the DBS information, and they will be supported through that process.
So I'm still feeling a bit overwhelmed, but I'm liking the part where you're saying at this point I wouldn't have to do anything after this. So what I'm going to do then, if I click on my email, and I'm going to show that on the screen, and it's going to ask me to download this spreadsheet.
Download the spreadsheet.
So this is, for some reason, okay, one little moment while I get the spreadsheet out. So while I'm doing that, Sarah, can you maybe talk me through just for a moment, before I fill in this spreadsheet, you spoke for a moment about asking people's permission. Can you just talk me through that again?
It's important that people are aware and consent to having a DBS check made. All you need to do is to make them aware of the church policy and the requirement for DBS check, and ask them if they're okay with you sending off their email to get the link sent to them in order for them to complete the form. At that point, if they decide they don't want a DBS check, they simply won't complete the form, and that's a decision then for another time. But the vast majority of people that we're speaking to are really pleased these checks are coming in. They appreciate the value these checks are going to bring to protecting victims and making church safer. And most people are really keen and eager to have this process completed. So all you need to do, Bishop, is get that spreadsheet, open it on your computer. And if you're struggling with the spreadsheet, there's nothing confidential on it. Ask one of the youth to help. Seriously, they know their way around spreadsheets. They know how to fill them in. They know how to attach them as file documents and how to send them back to an email address. So if technology is not your thing, there will be a young man or young woman in your ward who will be able to fill that spreadsheet in minutes for you, attach it as a file and send it off. So don't be afraid to ask one of the youth to help you with it.
Exactly. Now, I think I think there is a little issue with me sharing my screen here. So what I'm going to do is experiment a little bit, because it's really important that we're able to talk bishops through how to be able to do this. So I'm going to attempt to do this, and if we need to tweak it a little bit more, we can absolutely do that. So I'm going to get you, Sarah, if you could just let me know is that appearing on your screen?
It's not on my screen at the moment.
It's not on the screen at the moment. Okay, just one moment. Right. Okay, let's try this. Okay.
That's it. It's there.
There we go.
There.
So what I've done, so I won't be able to see you, Sarah, in the meantime. So I have clicked on my email, I've clicked on the attachment, and I've hit the download button, and it brings us to this page. So it's opening as a spreadsheet. And at the top, it says instructions to church leaders. 1, complete this list of callings. 2, if the member has an existing DBS dated within 12 months, examine the original and attach a copy. Email the completed list and any copy DBS certificates to, and we've starred out the email address because you'll find that on your document. So at the very top here, you should be able to see this where sort of my mouse is highlighting. I enter the name of my ward or branch. Really simple.
Click enable editing first of all.
Enable editing, and so we will type in there, nice and simple. Then the stake is again nice and simple. Okay, talk me through what to do next, Sarah.
Right, go to the name. So just for example, we pick young men's president, no, young women's president. Okay, just pick that for an example.
Okay, so young women's president is a little bit further down. Young women's president. Okay, we've got that here.
Right, name the young women's president.
Okay, let's put in my name.
We'll temporarily call you Jane Christie. You can be young women's president.
Okay. And then we put in my email address.
And then at this point, you need to speak to the person, ask them, what is your email address? So make sure you talk to the person, what's your email address? Put their email address on there. At the same time, you have that discussion. Are you aware of the new process, the DBS process that the church are going through? Everybody should know by now. There should have been ward lessons on it. There should have been information circulated. People should know about this. But if not, talk to people, explain the DBS process, explain why this is happening. Tell them that nobody will do a DBS without their consent. However, if they do not consent to a DBS, they will not be able to stay in the relevant calling.
So can I just check then? I mean, at most bishops, let's say, I've got everyone's email address who are in callings. I know what all of the email addresses are. It would take me 2 minutes. I could do this much quicker if I just put the email addresses in myself. Should I just do that?
Go for it, put the email addresses in there, but do make sure that people know that you are submitting a request for a DBS.
Okay.
So that people aren't shocked when they suddenly get an email come to them from the DBS service asking them to engage in this process of going through an application. Okay. So make sure people know, because if not, people are going to be thinking, well, I didn't know this was happening. And they will probably
Mm,
ignore the email when it comes because they won't be expecting it.
right.
And we
And
should ask people's consent. We shouldn't just
yes,
send people's names off and assume that it's okay. We should ask consent of people and say, look, we
absolutely.
need to do these DBS checks. This is why. Is it okay with you? Can I send your email address? So you need to make sure that happens.
Okay, so this is looking
Uh,
really simple so far. So this
it's
last
really
part,
simple.
the existing DBS. Now,
Right.
if we're going to put no there,
If,
that's fine. This person
absolutely.
doesn't. If they do, tell me what I'm doing then.
All you do is you ask them the date on their DBS certificate. If it is within the last 12 calendar months, then
Mhm.
you ask if they are happy for you to have a copy of their DBS and then take a photocopy, scan, photo of their DBS certificate and attach it and enter yes, and then attach
Okay.
it to this form. And then when you return this form, return any copies of existing DBS certificates. The reason we're doing that, Jane, is if people have already got DBSs that have been issued within the last 12 months, we're trying to prioritise people that don't have an existing DBS first of all.
Right. Okay. So if I have to attach it here, so most people have probably not got one within the last 12 months, but
Yeah.
probably have one somewhere. So if I do have one within the past 12 months, can you tell me how to attach that? Do we know how to attach it?
The
Would
easy,
that
well, my
Mhm.
my way of attaching it would be to take, because I don't have a scanner and printer. So my way
Yeah,
would be I would literally take a
take a
photograph of it
photograph.
and I would attach the photograph.
Right. And so whenever you're sending the email back, just this last part, we're emailing this completed list and we're attaching any DBS certificates
Yeah,
to that email address. So that
absolutely.
is super simple.
It's super, super. Can I say, if anybody is saying they can't find their DBS certificate or they can't remember, then just put it through and get a new one done. Don't waste time waiting for people to say, oh, well, I have to ask my
Okay.
employer, I have to try and find it. Just put their name through to get a new one because we haven't actually got time to waste because
Yeah.
people who are not DBS checked are going to have to be released and that day is coming. So we need to get these checks back before we hit the time at which the church has said you cannot serve in a calling unless you have a DBS.
Okay. So literally doing this will take me what? 5 minutes tops.
It
Um,
shouldn't take long at all.
maybe an extra couple of minutes if there's something that I need to attach. But going down that list, we can see every calling. It's all laid out exactly which column needs to, I'm then putting a name in, putting the email address in, and just a yes or no.
Absolutely.
And for the most part, if people haven't had one within the past 12 months, it's going to be a no. So you can just send that on off.
Absolutely. And the church
Perfect.
and the church have made this DBS process incredibly simple.
Yeah.
You know, they've really done a good job in making this DBS as simple as it can possibly be.
Good job, guys. I've got to admit, I don't see any issues with this at all. It could not be more simple. I mean, I feel probably as a if I were a bishop, that I would maybe just feel quite intimidated because it's something I don't really know. You know, that I'm seeing email
Mm.
addresses I'm not familiar with. I'm attaching this. But you've just talked me through that, and that could not be any easier. If bishops have any concerns or problems while they're completing it, what would they do? Would they
They
reach
can
out
con
to
they can contact their stake safeguarding specialist
Mhm.
or they can contact us.
Yeah,
We are happy for you to contact us at 21stcenturysaints.org. We will get back to you. We will plan a phone call or a Zoom call with you to talk through the process. But go to your stake safeguarding specialist first of all, because
yeah.
they're the person that are in position that should be assisting and helping with this. And this DBS process, it's important. It's important for victims. It's important for the church to manage risk.
Perfect.
So,
So this, I mean, we literally spent 5 minutes doing that and
yeah,
more time talking about doing that.
yeah.
This could not be any easier. But if you do have any
I
challenges, don't be embarrassed about it. Just reach out and ask for a bit of support and
I did the DBS spreadsheet for all our stake leaders the other week, and it took me no more than about 15-20 minutes.
There you go.
That was including having to search for a couple of people's email addresses and etc.
Yeah. So, yeah, bishops, if you haven't done this yet and you've received this email, get it filled in. It's important. We need you to get on this. So many resources have been put into making sure this is as smooth as possible for you. So please get that filled in. Any issues, contact your stake safeguarding specialist. We are always here for some advice and some backup. Sarah's too good a resource to, for you not to make use of, because she's more than happy to advise. But yeah, you will have good stake safeguarding specialists. Yeah. So we'd love to hear how you're getting on with it. We would encourage you, when this lands in your email inbox, do it immediately. Do it right away. Don't put it off. And yeah, with that, we send all of our blessings and support and hope you find this helpful. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.